At the start of November, false online ads circulating on Facebook and Instagram suggested that the Olive Garden was planning to close all of its locations. The ads led users to a lengthy article listing various businesses closing locations in 2023. Olive Garden appeared at number 191 on the list. This article was huge. I actually saw it, it was gigantic. The article then clarified Olive Garden planned to close 45 locations due to a decline in customers during COVID, and additional 40 locations set to close within the next 2 years as part of a broader strategy. An Olive Garden spokesperson confirmed that the information was false, but the situation highlighted a growing trend of advertising arbitrage, an advertising strategy designed to generate more revenue from ads within an article than the cost of the initial clickbait ad that attracted users to the article. So this one was actually kind of interesting for me. Duncan, in our previous lives, you and I, we were publishers. We had a website that we had Google AdSense on, and we made a little bit of money from it. And we had a decent following. We would have, 1 to 2 million people visit our website every year. And I would sometimes sit there and think, what if we ran ads to get more people to come to our website in hopes that they would then click on the ads on our website? And if the money it cost to get those people there in the first place was less than the money we made on the ads, we could make money all day. That's exactly what this is all about. It's an interesting way to make money. I think that it happens a lot more frequently than we realize. When you go to certain web pages and they're asking you to click around on a million different pages and there's ads everywhere, that's kind of the idea. Get somebody to a website and then hopefully make a bunch of money off of it. And then a broader question, I guess, in the case of the Olive Garden would be, how can a business like Olive Garden, or even any small business, medium-sized business, large business, monitor what's going on so they don't get a bunch of frantic phone calls or texts or emails from somebody saying, are you going to close all your locations down? Duncan, I'm curious to talk to you first about this, more on the advertising side of things. The idea of this strategy of let's get people to come to a website using ads in hopes that we will make more money from the ads that they click when they're on our site. Is that a valid strategy, do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting if you like. I know we're not looking at the article specifically right now, but the ad that in question here was a Facebook ad.
Yeah.
They probably had it also on Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram, I said, yeah.
The idea of running an ad to drive traffic only really works if the content that you're putting out there is going to go viral. So as an example, like you can't do this with Google because Google doesn't have that like network where people can comment and there's like a bandwagon effect on the ad. So if you are to do this, you have to use a social channel. So I bet you would work with TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, but probably Facebook. And you're going to have to make it clickbaity enough that it gets shared, it gets bandwagon effect, and we've seen this with posts. Like we've done things for clients where we're running little contests that everyone wants to be a part of. And then you all of a sudden have an ad that you put $5 behind and it has 350 comments and growing. It kind of like it gains its own momentum at a certain point because people share it on their profiles. And it's no longer an ad that like you're paying to promote. It's just out there and people are sharing it organically. And if you can kind of get that sort of a bandwagon effect on an ad that you put a little bit of money behind, absolutely, you can drive revenue. Now, I want to say two things about their tactics. So the fact that they had 150 businesses on here.
More. It was probably, like 191 was Olive Garden. I think it was over 200.
I mean, the article itself is massive. So kudos to them for that. That takes a lot of work, but that also is 191 potential pages that they had to have create for this piece of content, unless they have a tool to do it anyway. But each of those pages have ads, and every single time that someone goes to a new page, it triggers a new page view. So they can do this twofold. They can basically say to Google, or Google, if someone clicks on the ad, they get their money that way, but also as a website that's getting a lot of traffic, they can basically go to advertisers as a whole and say, hey, we got 1 million impressions or 1 million page views last year. In order to advertise on our site, you have to pay us X. But they've designed their site and their UX in a way that not only brings in ad revenue, but also encourages people to click to the next page, therefore kind of doubling up the effectiveness of just a little bit of money behind an ad and a really clickbaity title. I bet you they also did split testing just to see what clickbaity one did best, and the Olive Garden one was the one that obviously got picked up by news sites. And I'm done.
I almost like it more than the actual horn. But Duncan, you bring up some really, really valid points. And, I'm reminded of the articles. Remember when they have a slider and you have to click through the slider to get to the information that they actually talked about inside of the ad. And all they're doing exactly what you said, ramping up your impressions so you can turn around and say, look at how great our website is. Look at all the impressions we get, make more money. Mm-hmm.